disappointed when a global icon publicly distances himself from a long-awaited tour collaboration. The shockwaves are impossible to contain. Jin, the eldest member of BTS and the face of the ambitious Jin tour, was left visibly shaken and disheartened after Jungkook, often regarded as the golden magne and an unshakable pillar of BTS unity, abruptly declined to participate in the Dallas stop of the tour. What could compel Jungkook to take such a firm stance, especially when it concerns someone as pivotal and respected as Jin? And more importantly, what exactly happened behind the scenes that led to this emotionally charged fallout? This is not merely a scheduling conflict, nor can it be dismissed as a creative difference. The magnitude of Jin's disappointment suggests something deeper, an internal crack in the unity army once believed was unbreakable. Those close to the event noticed that Jin, who had been enthusiastically preparing for his first major public series of solo engagements post-military discharge, appeared withdrawn and unusually quiet following discussions regarding Dallas. His previous upbeat tone during rehearsals was replaced by long silences and uncharacteristic restraint. Whispers of "Jungkook said no" began to circulate, triggering confusion and speculation from fans and staff alike. It's no secret that Dallas was positioned to be one of the emotional peaks of the Jin tour. Not only is Dallas a city where BTS has historically received overwhelming love, but Jin himself had privately expressed hopes that this would be the moment for him and Jungkook to symbolically share the stage after so long. That plan, however, was derailed by a blunt refusal. Jungkook, according to those familiar with internal discussions, made it clear that he did not feel it was the right time to join Jin for the Dallas performance. No further elaboration was provided, at least not to the public. The lack of transparency only deepens the mystery and the concern. Observers have noted that while Jungkook has embarked on his own solo ventures in recent months, including several successful international performances, his relationship with group activities, especially those that seem to evoke the nostalgia of old BTS, has grown more complicated. Could it be that Jungkook is drawing a boundary between his solo image and past group affiliations? Or is there an unspoken strain between him and Jin that has remained hidden from the public eye? Sources close to the production of Jin tour confirmed that Jungkook was initially included in internal discussions about surprise guest appearances. These discussions reportedly took place as early as April. At the time, it was believed that Jungkook had shown a tentative interest, particularly in honoring Jin's return to the spotlight. However, as plans crystallized and tour dates were locked, something shifted. One source described a sudden pullback from Jungkook, noting that his tone became distant and the previously warm rapport with Jin started to cool. What makes this situation especially unsettling is how uncharacteristic it is for Jin and Jungkook to display visible disconnects. Fans have long admired their relationship, Jin's protective older brother energy, and Jungkook's respectful admiration. But in recent appearances, including a now viral backstage clip from an event in Japan, the dynamic between the two appeared stiff. Jin was seen attempting to strike up casual conversation, while Jungkook maintained a polite but clearly reserved demeanor. Fans who watched the footage repeatedly pointed out the subtle tension, sparking theories that all is not well. The Dallas refusal appears to be more than just an isolated decision. It has become a symbol of a broader fracture, one that touches on themes of loyalty, timing, and perhaps differing visions for the future. Jin, who has maintained a steady image of diplomacy and warmth, reportedly expressed in private circles that he felt blindsided and gutted by Jungkook's withdrawal. Those words carry weight. Jin is not one to speak lightly, nor does he make emotional claims without reason. Adding to the emotional intensity, behind-the-scenes photos from the tour rehearsal revealed Jin rehearsing a duet section alone, originally envisioned to include Jungkook. The empty spotlight next to him tells a silent but powerful story, one of absence, disappointment, and unresolved questions. Crew members described that particular rehearsal as chilling and quiet, with several staff members allegedly moved to tears by the emotional rawness on display. The silence from Jungkook's side has only fueled the fire. Neither he nor his team have made public statements regarding the Dallas cancellation. This void of explanation has invited endless speculation, from concerns about personal burnout to rumors of creative disagreements, even whispers about conflicting philosophies on the future of BTS and its legacy. None of these theories have been substantiated, but the mere fact that they exist and persist speaks volumes about the scale of the emotional rupture. Fans, too, are caught in the crossfire. ARMY, known for its loyalty and deep emotional investment, is now divided. Some argue that Jungkook has every right to prioritize his own career trajectory. Others feel a profound sense of betrayal, especially given the symbolic significance of this reunion with Jin. He didn't just say no to a stage, wrote one fan on social media. He said no to Jin's heart. And what about Jin himself? Sources suggest that the disappointment may have larger implications. Jin had been counting on the Dallas stage to not only mark a high point in the Jin tour, but to also emotionally reconnect with BTS's global family after his military service. His hope, it seems, was to craft a moment of unity, a reaffirmation that despite changes and time apart, the brotherhood remained intact. Jungkook's absence, then, becomes more than logistical. It becomes a wound, one that may not heal quickly. One striking development was Jin's own brief comment during a rehearsal Q&A. When asked what he looked forward to most in Dallas, he hesitated. Then, after a pause, he said, "I had imagined something different." The room fell silent. There were no follow-up questions. This incident has reignited long-standing questions about how BTS will navigate the transition from group dominance to individual exploration. Is the unity that once defined them now being recalibrated? Are the members quietly redefining their bonds in ways that the public is only beginning to understand? And more crucially, how much of this recalibration is consensual and how much is emotional fallout? For Jin, the heartbreak of Dallas may be a turning point. Insiders say he's rethinking future collaborations and appearances. While he remains committed to the rest of his tour dates, his tone has shifted. The smiles are tighter, the interviews more measured. Fans have noted the subtle melancholy in his voice, especially when speaking about his fellow members. This is not a public scandal, but it is a quiet implosion. And sometimes, those are the hardest to process. Whether Jungkook's decision was driven by personal conviction, emotional distancing, or unspoken disagreement, its impact is undeniable. It has created a moment that no one can ignore, a moment where silence says more than statements ever could. As the Jin tour continues without the Dallas Dream duet, the lingering question remains: what truly happened between Jin and Jungkook? And can the bond that once seemed so unbreakable survive this silence? Because one thing is certain, the stage in Dallas will be filled with lights, fans, and music. But it will also be haunted by an absence that even the loudest cheers cannot erase. Interestingly, other members have subtly weighed in. During a live broadcast shortly after the Dallas concert, J-Hope made a vague but telling remark. Sometimes you expect certain people to be there, and when they're not, you still keep going. But it does something to your heart. Though he didn't mention names, fans were quick to connect the dots. The timing was unmistakable. Even V, known for his abstract expressions, posted a photo of an empty chair on his social media the night of the Dallas performance.
No caption.
Just the image. Interpretations flooded the internet. Was it about Jungkook?
Was it about Jin?
Was it both? What's perhaps most haunting is how quiet this entire ordeal has been on the surface, yet how deafening it has become underneath. Some fans began speculating about potential disagreements in musical direction, while others suggest emotional fatigue or unresolved internal conflicts might be the root cause. Could it be that Jungkook, who has often struggled with the pressure of balancing individual identity with group loyalty, is simply at a breaking point? Or did something happen behind closed doors between him and Jin that is not, and may never, be made public? One senior Korean entertainment journalist, speaking off the record, summarized it this way: "This is not about a song, or a city, or even a tour. This is about timing, emotional timing. And for Jin, that timing was sacred. For Jungkook, it was not. As fans continue to dissect every angle, the lingering emotions remain unresolved. Jin has resumed his tour, but Dallas marked a shift in tone. His subsequent performances have retained their professionalism, but with a visible distance. The light-hearted banter, the hopeful commentary, it's all muted now. He performs with grace, but no longer with expectation. Meanwhile, Jungkook continues his schedule abroad. His recent public appearances remain polished, detached, and entirely absent of commentary on Dallas. If he is affected, he is not showing it. And yet, those who followed BTS for years know, silence is not absence. Silence is often where the deepest meanings live. The question now is not whether this rift can be repaired. The question is whether either side even wants to address it, because if a heartfelt invitation was declined without explanation, and if an emotional performance was completed in the shadow of absence, then what's really being communicated is not just disappointment, but distance, the distance that may now be defining a new, unspoken chapter in BTS's legacy, and perhaps, one day, we'll get answers. But for now, the truth lingers, just outside the spotlight, just beneath the surface, in a place where even the loudest fans cannot reach.